Hi there, it's Shell, and today we are beginning a new series, and we are going to make some little paperclip embellishments this week. So, again, I'm not sure how long the series will last. It will at least be Monday through Friday, and then, depending on whether or not I come up with anything else. So I kind of wanted to show you guys this, and it's got a little key on it and a little piece of lace, and then it has a paper clip on the back so you can put it into your books wherever you want to. And because it does have some bulk, it's perfect as a paper clip, because if you are writing in your journals, then you can take that out. So I have a few made, but I want to show you how I made these. This was my kind of first prototype little thing that I had, and then these, which I think are more like a junk journal. So I am going to, we're going to have our sewing machine here, see if we can do this and stay in frame. So what I did is I went and cut down some music paper to 2 by 1.5, and then I had some it's kind of like a page protector, just a clear page protector, and I went ahead and cut that down to 1.5 by 2 as well. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure there's no. So I thought we'd just kind of make 3 of these together. They really don't take that long, and they're just really fun. I've been making a few this morning. It's Saturday here, so I think you'll see this on Monday, I believe. And I've just been kind of playing and seeing what I could come up with. It is kind of Pinterest inspired. The ones I saw on Pinterest had, what am I thinking? They had like sequins, and they had glitter, but in the junk journal world, or at least in my junk journal world, they did not work for me. Because, sequins and glitter doesn't really go in the antique-y or the older junk journal look. So what I'm doing is I just grabbed a dryer sheet, and I'm just kind of rubbing my plastic on that so that I don't have any hair or any static. So, and now we just want to, so we have those 3 little pieces. We're going to prep our little music paper, and again I am going to my Vintage Photo Distress ink, and I am just going to go all the way around it. The first one I did not use distress ink, and I really felt like it needed that. So I'm sure that one will go in my little sample book that I have, for samples and stuff. That way when I look back I can be like, oh yeah, I remember this. I mean, I could always refer back to my videos, but I think I have over 1,000 videos right now, so it might be kind of hard to find. So if there's something you want to keep track of, you could, kind of do a little sample book. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so we're done with that part. Now we want to see if there's anything else we want to add before we make them into little button shakers. So I know I want to add some stamps, so I have some stamps over here. I have one that's a little bit brighter than, than what I've been using. And this one is from New Zealand. But I really wanted one that would kind of stretch across this because it had such an empty spot there. So I'm going to put that one there. And then I have one from, let's see where this one's from, Portugal it looks like. I love, you know, using these old stamps. And like I've said in many previous videos, I picked these up on Etsy. So just canceled stamps. And then this one. This one's kind of cool. It has the word love right there. So, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. And again, I am just using my art glitter glue. And this will, there will be a link below to pick it up on Amazon if you want to use that. You can certainly do that. So I think I want it here in the corner. Like that. And then my New Zealand one. Oops. Like this. And this one. And I'm kind of trying to make sure that I keep them kind of up from the bottom, because I will be putting some vintage buttons in here, and I don't want to cover them up, you know, cover up the buttons or have the buttons cover up my stamps. So now you can add anything else that you want to do. If you wanted to add a little bit of stamping, a little bit of washi tape, anything that you want to add here, you could do that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just pull a little bit of this lace and just maybe kind of put it along this edge. On all of them I did put lace on the outside, but it's kind of fun to have a little bit on the inside as well. So let's kind of, actually let's kind of put it along the bottom. You know, again, you might not see it that much, but it just kind of adds a little bit more definition, or kind of like another layer. You guys know how I like to layer. So, and then I'm just going to trim that off. My scissors aren't the best anymore. I think I really need to get maybe a new pair. Turn that just a little bit, make sure I stay in frame. And then since I have this other little piece just left over, I'm just going to go ahead and add that like over here on this side, because I think it's fun. You know, I think junk journaling a lot of the time is just kind of layering things up and doing what you want to do, and you know, making it your own. So now I have my sewing machine, so let's pull that up so you can see it kind of anyways. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these pieces of plastic on top, and I'm just going to hold it in place. And if you can cut it a little bit bigger and then after you sew it, that might be better. These are pretty much exactly the size I need, so I have to be really careful. And see what I have here. Actually, I have a big mess, so let's re-thread our needle and see how that comes together. It looks like one of the strands was kind of off. I still haven't fixed my needle threader, so I have to use my own eyesight. I do have my glasses on today. I found that I need them more often than not. Even though I wear contacts, I just can't really see that well without them close up. So, okay, let's see. Okay, got it. I think. Do this up. I got it. I got it. Maybe. Okay, I got it. So again, I am just putting my plastic. I'm just making sure it's clean on the inside, so no cat hair or fuzz or anything. And I'm just going to sew around with a straight stitch. And I'm using a straight stitch because I want as much room inside my little pocket as I can get. So I'm just going to line that up and I'm going to hold it and hope that I get it a good, you know, straight stitch, and that it covers my whole little pocket thing here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. One reason I love junk journals is because you don't have to do anything perfectly. You know, you can just be like, oh yeah, that's how I meant for that to be. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. So we're just kind of sewing on 3 sides. And I'm going to go ahead and sew the other 2 as well, since I'm right here and I can do that. Make sure that kind of lines up. This one's a little bit bigger, which is fine. Like I said, I think it's easier when you have a bigger piece of plastic that you can later trim down than if you had a smaller. So it doesn't take long. Like I said, I've been working on these most of the day. Well, most of the morning. It's only 11 o'clock, so I've been kind of working on this, and we're waiting for some friends to bring us some gas so we can clear our driveway so we can get out. Okay, so go ahead and sew this one. Sorry, I had to take a little bit of a break, and a friend that's coming to bring us gas for our tractor had a question, so I had to take a break. So she got out of her driveway. She's up in Dove Creek, and she did get out of her driveway, but she said it was kind of hard for her also. So she's going to take care of us today, so that's always nice to have friends. So yeah, we just been busy, and we'll have to shovel out our driveway soon. If you guys haven't seen our snowstorm, I think we did get a little bit more, but I don't think it made that much of a difference, you know. I guess when you have 9-foot drifts, then it doesn't. Okay, so let's just focus on this. Okay, so we have our little pockets made. And what I did before I started is I pulled out tons of my little buttons. And these buttons are vintage buttons that I picked up years ago. In fact, this one is like a shell button. I got these at a yard sale a few years ago. Aren't those beautiful? So, and a lot of times I can't find any reason to use these itty bitty buttons. But they are perfect for here. And I always like to put like a set of 3. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of trying to put a set of 3 different buttons in each bag. So we'll see what I come up with. So there's a 2. This one's got a little bit of a what's it called, a bell or whatever on that. And these are all the same, but here's one that's a little different size. And I'm just going to put those in there. In this one, I'll just probably use 3. Or I can dig 4. Sorry, I just can't use all white. So what I'm going to do real quick is just kind of dig for maybe a couple of brown buttons, or here's one I could use, and maybe a blue button. I think a blue would be fun. And I just like to have the different buttons, so let's do that. That way I have a 2-hole, a 4-hole white, and kind of brown one. So let's go ahead and pop these in here. And I love the lace kind of on the bottom because I think it adds, I think it adds a lot to it. So that's kind of cool. My husband's moaning and groaning in
Sorry.
the background.
Don't mean to.
He's just in pain today. So anyways, now I want to add something to hang my keys from. Sorry about the glare. But I couldn't find any ribbon that would work for this. And I think I'm out of like a cream color ribbon. And that's really what I wanted. But I have this cream colored lace. And it's thin enough that I can use that. So I'm just going to show you how I add this. Pretty simple here so far. And we're going to bring back our sewing machine because now we have everything in there we want to put in. Now you could use different beads. You know, I was thinking of different things you could add, but when you're doing like a little junk journal, one thing that immediately came to mind for me was buttons. But you could add like little seed beads or, you know, little rocks or, you know, just let your imagination go wild. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to just put in my lace. And I think that's really good because it will catch really well. Sorry, I got a little piece of something in there that I don't want. There we go. And I'm just going to sew that just a straight stitch to close that up. So it's kind of like a pillowcase, you know, the opening of the pillowcase, and then we're just going to close it. So that, I mean, it's real simple. If you've never sewn before, this is a real simple stitch. And since I'm doing the same thing and I'm going, you know, across each one of them, I'm going to do that here as well. And just get them all done at one time. And these make really quick little projects. So I really think that they're fun and will be a fun addition to my junk journals. And I do go ahead and double back just to lock in, you know, the stitches. Okay, so we're done with the sewing machine. So let's cut these apart. You know, it doesn't bother me to have like threads that are kind of, you know, off the edge or anything like that, because I think that adds something to it. And then what I did is, I was thinking if I had ribbon, you know, you could layer maybe some beads or, you know, some paper beads or something, but I didn't have any ribbon. And I was thinking a key. So I have these little keys that I got when my friend had his shop, and I just tie a little knot in there, and then I love the way that they look. I think that is such a cute little concept. Then I have a couple of different keys, and let me put that in here, and then I will show you how I finish them up. You know, again, this is a perfect little idea to just make a what am I thinking? Make a kind of conveyor belt with assembly line. I knew it involved a conveyor belt. An assembly line with. And you know, you can just really knock these little guys out and stick them in your stash. And I'm hoping to kind of have my stash pretty full by this next weekend, so I can show you guys how I'm going to organize it. So I think it's always fun, you know, to make the ephemera, but it's always fun to see how other people organize as well. So, and see, it kind of buckled up there. Well, I don't know what that is. That's a bunch of fuzz. but that doesn't bother me. And you know, the backs, we're not really going to see the backs. You could leave them like this and, you know, just attach them somehow into your book. But since we're doing paper clips this week, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the paper clips. So what I did is I just cut a piece of paper down that will not be seen from the front of my paper clips, and I used just some scrap paper that I used on the video from the other day, and that's as easy as that is, you know. And I have some paper clips. In this case I had red, white, and black, so I chose the white to work with. So you just slide your paper clip on there, and then you want the small end. That's the size you're going to put glue. And then we are just going to glue that in right here. And then I like to put a little extra glue on the paper clip just to make sure it doesn't move. And you know, it doesn't take very long. You could certainly use hot glue here. I just haven't pulled out my hot glue gun yet today. So I'm just using my art glitter glue because it does, you know, it takes a little bit, but it dries pretty quick and it will attach pretty quick. So that looks pretty good. And I just, you know, I just kind of keep messing with it until it catches really well. And then that is ready to go in our little stash for another use. Again, I'm going to put it on, put glue on the small side. So it's kind of like a little hidden paper clip. A lot of people make these using like tickets or something like that. But I definitely think you can make it pretty much anything out of anything that your mind has. But I think this would be cute without the paper clip. If you wanted to add it to a little pocket, that would be a cute idea. You know, you could put, maybe instead of stamps on the inside, you could put a, you know, an old-fashioned picture, or you could put an advertisement from an old newspaper. That'd be a cute idea as well. But I have so many stamps, and you guys know I'm just using them like crazy right now. I told my husband I bought 400 because he was going through them for me this morning, and I told him I bought 400, so I'm probably down to about 385 or something like that, because it seems like you haven't used any of them, you know. So, and then this one, but isn't that a cute little picture? I think that's pretty cool. And just glue this down. Okay, come on. Trying to get it to stick so that it stays. If you used hot glue, it would definitely be quicker, you know. And some people prefer hot glue because it makes the embellishment kind of harder. So you could certainly do that. Like I said, and mine, the one I have right now is really, really hot. And I just have to be cautious because of the cats, so they don't burn their nose. So, let's see. Let me see that one. Isn't that cute? And it has the little key. So we have that one, and we have this little guy. I think that's really sweet. And we have this one. It kind of brings in a little bit of color. So I really like to make things in different colors, because, you know, if I'm doing one and I'm going through and I want a red and a blue one or something, then I already have it ready to go. So here's one that has a little key, and I think that's cute. I put a little blue. Sorry, they're kind of hard. I film with a big light above my thing, so there's not a lot of shadows and stuff, so it's kind of hard. This is the one I made first, and I'll probably put that in my, like I said, in my little scrapbook sample. But I really wanted to add some distress ink. And I really like the distress ink, the extra lace. I have lace here. Things like that I think is kind of fun. So let me show you this one. This is one I made and it ripped. So when I was sewing it across the top, my plastic didn't line up correctly, and so it ripped there. So what I did is I got a piece of washi tape and I kind of glued down the washi tape, but I wasn't sure it would stay. So I just went back to my sewing machine and just sewed around it. And I really like that because it looks so kind of junk journal-y. So I think these are so cute. I can't wait to see what you do. I would appreciate you giving me a thumbs up. Be sure and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, we're going to have a paperclip series coming up. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Thank you for all of your sweet comments. And we will see you guys in the next video. And you guys have a wonderful day.